The Microbus is back, and it comes with an electric twist. It's the Volkswagen ID.Buzz. It's something I've been waiting years to drive, but it's coming up now on my latest review, so stick around. A full 7 years after first being revealed as a concept vehicle, Volkswagen is finally bringing the ID.Buzz to North America. It's being hailed as the spiritual incarnation of the original iconic microbus, but built with the future in mind as a fully electric design. A standard wheelbase version of the ID.Buzz has been available in Europe since the second half of 2022, but North Americans are being offered a long wheelbase version with 3 rows and seating up to 7. So the ID.Buzz is an electric version of the microbus, which means that there's no longer a gas motor in the trunk. Instead, we have a 91 kilowatt hour battery, 86 of which is usable wattage, and it is paired to either a single motor, a rear wheel drive, or a dual motor system. With the rear motor, you're looking at an output of 282 horsepower and 413 pound-feet of torque. If you have the 4Motion or the dual motor, which is what I'm driving, you have 335 horsepower and 512 pound-feet of torque. There are different drive modes here on the ID.Buzz. You have your sport, comfort, and other things. I've been in comfort most of the time. I tried sport once or twice just to see what it felt like. Although with this dual motor system and the 300 plus horsepower, when I've gone onto highway accelerating, even in comfort mode, it's been no issue whatsoever. There is unfortunately no one pedal driving in the ID.Buzz. I know there are people that love one pedal driving. I'm kind of in the middle on that. I like it at times, just not all the time. But so you have to go to, you have your B mode, your heavy regen mode, which doesn't come to a full stop, and you can't use it with just the one pedal. In terms of range, what we have for the single motor is estimated 377 kilometers and 372 kilometers for the dual motor. Now that's not a great range, of course. To that I will say a couple of things. I think the idea of greater range is something that will come in time. I mean, to be honest, as we've seen with many electrics, it's really just a software update. I think it's also important to recognize that there's a lot of weight in this vehicle as well, so that's going to impact on range. You can also see that the range is not great, all things considered, by looking at its efficiency. This is not the most efficient of electric vehicles. This is, you know, not quite a gas guzzler, but it's certainly, there are more efficient EVs on the market out there. But I do think over time we will see the range extend, partly because customers want it. There still is the romanticized idea with this ID.Buzz that it's the old camper van for long trips. This is probably going to be utilized more that in the way you would see, well, hey, let's say once upon a time a minivan or, you know, a 3-row SUV. This is a phenomenal family vehicle for all of the space and amenities that this has, not to mention that it's electric. So because of that, I think we're more likely to see that while this will be on occasion used for long family trips, we're more likely to see people just using it in daily driving. And of course, if you charge at home, it's really not much of an issue. So for charging, there is an 11 kilowatt hour onboard charger here, which is good. If you have a home charger and you're charging up to 11 kilowatts, you're going to go from empty to 100% in about 9 hours. In terms of fast charging, this will take up to 130 kilowatts. So with that at a level 3, you're looking at 10 to 80% according to Volkswagen in 26 minutes. Hey, we'll get back to the video in just 1 second, but according to my statistics, most of you watching right now are not subscribers, and I'd like to change that. If you're enjoying this video, consider subscribing right now. I need some help catching up to the bigger guys. I mean, I'm not going to be Throttle House or Straight Pipes or DeMuro or anything like that, but my kids say I should get to mid, so help me get to mid, right? Hey, Dad, you can be mid. Subscribe. Slaps? Using Volkswagen's MEB architecture, the North American ID.Buzz will likely be compared against other 3-row family haulers such as the Volkswagen Atlas, Toyota Sienna, and the Kia EV9. With its unique design, the ID.Buzz is not as long as any of these competitors, but is taller and has a longer wheelbase. The overall exterior design brings in a bunch of retro-inspired cues, which really works well. At the front, the iconic V-shaped hood mirrors the classic Type 2 bus and features a slim lateral bar that extends from either side of the illuminated oversized emblem to connect with the premium LED projector headlights. From a profile view, short overhangs and splitting the bodywork into upper and lower levels provide additional visual references that pay homage to its forebearer. All ID.Buzz trims will have 20-inch aluminum alloy wheels as standard, which are 4 inches larger than the original. First edition models, such as my test unit, feature a white wheel with a matte silver disc, while the regular trims feature a silver wheel with a gloss black disc. Dual power sliding rear doors provide excellent access to the third row and are replete with a modern take on the classic sliding windows, which are now also fully powered. You'll find another oversized emblem on the rear liftgate, along with a sleek retro form and horizontal light strip that connects the LED taillights while dividing the upper and lower sections of the bodywork. The ID.Buzz, depending on trim level, will have numerous color options available. Two-tone options will either pair a candy white top with energetic orange, pomelo yellow, blue charcoal, mahi green, metro silver, cabana blue, or indium gray below, or a metro silver top with cherry red below. And while they don't look anywhere near as nice as the two-tone options, there are 3 single-tone options that will be offered as well. So in comparing the exterior dimensions of this ID.Buzz with the Atlas and the Sienna and the EV9, you can certainly see how this is a very large vehicle. But it's not just the exterior proportions that really remind you of this. Once you get inside, you also get the same sensation that this thing is just huge. There's so much space up front here. The headroom is really something. It's more synonymous of what the Microbus was. A lot more headroom than any of the other competitors. And also the front windshield. It is projected so far in front. A couple weeks ago when I had my Cybertruck review, I was instantly reminded too, because of how the Cybertruck is like that. Its front windshield is way out in front, and it reminded me, I said back that time, of the old Chevy Pontiac Lumina minivan. And this does too in a way. Maybe not to the same extent, but it really is projected out there. And the seating position is really high up too. It's really more truck-like in terms of its height. So when you're sitting and driving, you really do get that sense that you're driving a bus in a way. And overall, I do really enjoy how I am sitting and the whole driving perspective in this ID.Buzz. And so another advantage with such large proportions, remember this is the long wheelbase here in North America, so it does have 3 rows of seats. And with other 6 or 7 seat vehicles, quite often it's the third row that's a problem. But here, easy access, and let me tell you, it is no problem with the access here. Bring this back, showing you what it's like. There's tons of room. I'm even going to sit over here on the side to show you that, my knees are not in my chest. If I was an adult sitting back here, I'd have no difficulty. Even plenty of headroom. I'm 5'11", so I still have plenty of space. With the chairs up, I could reach out. Huge advantage. And part of it, again, with the lack of a drive shaft, you don't necessarily need to have that impediment in the way, so it allows for greater seating position and the height. This is fantastic. The interior of the ID.Buzz has the dual purpose of being not just nostalgic, such as it is with the exterior, but also functional. There is an uncluttered look and feel overall to the interior layout. 3 different color combinations, or worlds as Volkswagen calls them, are available to complement the exterior colors and will give customers a wide array of combinations to express themselves with. It should be noted that these colors are exclusive to North American models. Up front, and similar to the ID.4, the digital instrument cluster is mounted to the steering column to ensure visibility regardless of wheel positioning. It offers a basic but generally usable array of information. Heated steering wheels are standard across all trims. Also on the steering column is the gear selector, which is also a carryover from the ID.4. The haptic touch controls of the steering wheel are problematic, as any pressure can activate the functions even when not wanted. The semi-floating central display and infotainment system remains not one of my favorites, but improvements have been made from its debut with the ID.4. The lack of any buttons or tactile touch points remains a problem, as it impacts both efficiency and usability. Now, if the ID.Buzz is a mix of modern with nostalgic, I think a center touchscreen with buttons or knobs would kind of look right at home. There is wireless connectivity for both Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, as well as a wireless charge port. But I found the slot to be a very tight squeeze for my Google Pixel 8 Pro, especially with its protective case on. In addition to full perforated leatherette seating, all Buzz models are equipped with a standard 12-way power driver and passenger seats with dual armrests, thigh extensions, ventilation, massage, and memory functions. Front seats and second-row outboard seats are heated. A unique feature that is available in a package on the Pro S Plus models and standard on first edition models is an Electrochomatic smart glass roof, which changes from clear to opaque with a swipe of a finger. The roof works through a polymer dispersed liquid crystal layer integrated into the glass. And with the glass area of 15.4 square feet, it's the largest of any in the Volkswagen group. Thanks to the lack of a drive shaft, the ID.Buzz features what Volkswagen calls a Buzz box, which is a removable and highly configurable center console. It includes flexible storage on top with two unique dividers that double as a bottle opener and an ice scraper, which are both really cool, as well as two additional compartments below. In addition to the Buzz box, all models feature spacious stowage areas in the doors, storage shelves in the dashboard, fold-out cup holders for the first row, and integrated cup holders and storage in the third row. The unique proportions of the ID.Buzz that I mentioned earlier really come into play when looking at both overall passenger volume and cargo capacity. While third-row cargo capacity is disappointing despite its unique storage bin feature, it demolishes the competition when cargo space is measured with both the third row and second rows down. Simply put, this ID.Buzz can carry a whole bunch of stuff. Now, this comparison is perhaps even more remarkable when cargo space of the ID.Buzz is compared against the Kia EV9, one of the only other three-row all-electric vehicles on the market at the moment. I really do think people are going to love this ID.Buzz. It is kind of a halo. I mean, I've heard that term that people are calling this a halo vehicle for Volkswagen. And I know there are some difficulties within the organization. They're not going to go bankrupt. I don't think that's going to happen. But will this be the one vehicle that propels them forward? I mean, there are some things that they need to improve upon. Even the fact that you don't have, say, vehicle to load. I mean, with an EV like this and you're sort of projecting it as that adventure vehicle, even though there's not enough range, you know, not having the ability to, say, use a V2L sort of system to power up, you know, coffee makers or camping gear or stuff like that, that would be an improvement that we'd like to see. But again, despite what there may not be, this is just, I really, really have enjoyed my time this week in this car. Initial pricing and availability for the ID.Buzz in North America does differ depending upon which side of the 49th parallel you're on. US customers will have 3 trim levels to select from, with Pro S, Pro S Plus, and First Edition. Pro S will only be offered in rear-wheel drive or single motor, but both Pro S Plus and First Edition buyers can select between rear-wheel drive and dual-motor 4Motion powertrain. US pricing will range from $59,995 to $69,995 depending on trim and powertrain. Canadian customers will initially only be offered the top trim First Edition in both rear-wheel drive and 4Motion. Prices are set at $80,631 and $86,131 respectively. I really enjoyed my time with the ID.Buzz. I think it's a winner. Sure, we could see more range, but that's probably coming, and same with the price dropping. But overall, this really is going to be a big hit. But what do you think? Drop me a comment, let me know, and share it with others if they're curious too. If you're not subscribed to the Novak Report, as I said, please consider doing so. And if you are a subscriber, remember to ring the bell so they get notified of every time I upload something new. That's it for my look at the new Volkswagen ID.Buzz. I'm Eric Novak. Thanks for watching.